Good evening everyone and welcome to another Up the Boro video chat, and tonight I'm joined by Ben Mills. Good evening, Ben.
How you doing?
Yeah, we'll try and make it quite swift tonight because obviously we know you've got training to get onto there and we want to crack on with that. So obviously your third stint back at Boro then?
Is it my third?
Yeah, I think you was there, wasn't you, originally 2009, then you was there 10, 11 and then came back again?
Yeah, in between Alfreton, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, should we call you now Ben Boomerang?
Call me whatever you want, yeah.
Mills? Yeah. So the first question we've got coming from Mark Alcock is, what made you rejoin Stafford Rangers?
I played last season and then had a couple of holidays booked in, so I thought, I'll have a rest, have a break, and I was obviously at Whitchurch last year, so I thought I came a game around Christmas time, and I thought, I think maybe I'd like to get back into it, but I told the missus I was packing in, and we were on the way to home centre in Stafford, so I says, come on, we'll see if the Rangers are at home, and we called in at half time, and I saw a few of the lads and I thought, I fancy having a run around again and getting back into it, so I messaged Meech on Facebook and he said he'd get me fit, and here I am today. Yeah,
how are you coming on with that? You feel you're back there then? Because like I say, it's now getting fit and actually getting match fit are two different things, aren't they? Do you feel you're there, that you could run your socks off for the full 90 now?
Well, you've hit the nail on the head. It takes some time to get match fit. You need a good run of games, and I've probably played 2 90s in about 9 months. So the rest of it, some sort of appearances, training's helping to good intensity, but I'm not match fit now because I haven't played matches. Very hard to get match fit when there's no reserve team, but I've just got to do the best I can when I come on, and hopefully if I get a run of games, and it'll come naturally. Yeah,
and talking about run of games, we've got a tough run of games coming up.
I try not to look too much, but some of the top boys, and obviously starting Saturday with Warrington, isn't it? So
yeah, and then Farsley in between, then Warrington again. So it's like I say, those two seem to have just jumped slightly clear at the moment, so they're in a fight for the automatic promotion. So again, nobody's going to give anything, but again, it's a funny old game, and I think anybody can beat anybody in this league at the moment.
Every game is a chance to get 3 points or a point on the board, and I think in our position we're fearless. We are going into every game where we believe we can get something. I think the run of form has turned. Was it unbeaten in 8 or lost 1 in 8? Was it?
Yeah.
So that's strong, and the lads are taking positives from all the games. So
well, I say this every week again because I spend quite a bit of time in the back there, and you can hear the dressing room. It's always buoyant in there, and everybody's always up for it. And like I say, it's everybody's bonded well together, and they're all digging out there for each other as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So this time at the club, like I say, it's your third stint back here. How have you found it? It's changed over the years since you were first here.
One thing stayed the same, the pitch is still terrible, but I love all the renovations, and I've got a sense that the community is sort of really back together again. When I came, it was sort of on the Brimley days, and we weren't having such a good time. We had a good run of form there. We got relegated that season, and it was a bit of doom and gloom, but everything's been really positive. I've seen a few changes in the boardroom and things since, but there's still some familiar faces knocking around. But I love all the social club. I think that's really sort of the backbone of the club, isn't it? There's a real sort of spirit there.
Yeah. Without that social club there, I think we'd been struggling a lot more than what we have done over the years.
Yeah, I think a lot of clubs would be in the same boat. So credit to you for getting that in. But the actual club and the playing side, there's not too much has changed. Obviously the changing rooms, it's familiar, but it's a good club, and I think you're in a real strong position.
Yeah. With regards to the pitch, obviously we know it can be slightly bobbly at times, but hats off to the volunteers who all work on it. Dan and the rest of them there, you're doing a cracking job, so keep up the good work.
No doubt.
Yeah. From Jamie Howard, who's your favourite player that you've played with at the Rangers, either past or present? Anybody you really clicked with when you was on the pitch? Obviously, a bit difficult at the moment, because like you say, you've only been here since January. And,
I'd have to say Nick Wellicombe, Wally. Yeah, and he's still a good friend now, and we still catch up every now and again. So Wally, if you're watching, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, well, exactly. That was the next question coming in from Sam Jackson. He's actually asked who's your preferred striker, going back to old and new, Nick Wellicombe or Jay Charles?
I'd I'd have to say Wally, because I haven't had a run with Jake properly, and I'd love to. I think we'd complement each other. He's such a hard-working player, as Nick was. But yeah, I'd love a chance to get up top. I know we're playing one at the minute with, you know, a 4-5 or 4-1, 4-1, whichever way you're looking at it. But yeah, I'd love to get.
So you're still in touch with Nick, are you now, or
Yeah.
Because obviously when people move on, we tend not to keep too much of an eye on him, because the last time I was at Kids Grove, I don't know if he's still there, if he's moved on from there now.
No, I think he had his knee and then a few injuries and whatnot. But he was managing over at Brockton now, I think.
Oh, is he? Oh, right. Yeah. Back to his old stomping ground then. Yeah. And from Terry Radford, what's your best memory from Stafford? Is it a particular cup game or winning one of the Staff Senior Cups? I don't know whether you were in the seasons you were here, did you?
No. I've got a really bad memory for players, grounds, clubs and stuff like that, but I do remember nicking it off in the corner in a game of someone far side by the shed end and squaring it for Nick, and he'd slotted home, and that was good because we'd worked hard and got that goal. But when I was here, it wasn't a glorious time. I don't think it was you know, in the days when Shooter were in and you were in the conference and all that. McNeil, it was just after all those fellas, so I don't think there was that many good times to be fair.
No. And like I say, you mentioned a proper Boro legend there, Shooter. Do you think that's something we've got missing at the moment? That rock at the back there, they used to basically not just take the defence, he told everybody what to do, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was,
yeah, you don't come across many players like that nowadays, and you know, credit to the lads that are in there. I think they're doing well, and they've definitely had quite a few clean sheets there last few games. But Shooter was such a big player, you know. I think anyone would have had him in his day in the team. Yeah,
because I think he actually made the NPL all-time top 50 as well, didn't he? He was in there, close to the top there. So like. The next question, coming from Liam Barton here, is what are your aims in football?
Now?
Yeah.
To get myself playing again, get myself in the team personally, and then, you know, once if I can get myself settled or playing regularly, then hopefully, you know, obviously be successful. But personally, I need to get myself back in the fold, back playing regular football, and then seeing where we can go as a team in the club. But for me, I want to just get back in the shirt and starting games. Yeah,
we're obviously going about the wire, because like I say, we were running a bit late and I thought he's bottled it here, he's not coming, but every player that came out of that change room before they went down to training, they would say, Ben won't miss a training session, he'll be here, trust me. And
yeah, so again, Jack Sherritt for that.
Yeah, well, he was here on time.
I've travelled in with him, he wasn't.
Oh no, I saw him before you must have been hiding then. You obviously saw me, and he'd be behind the bin. So, like I say, we're talking positive there, but the next question coming from Hot Evans, what's the worst miss you can remember?
Oh, try and forget about that, Mark.
I know, we want you to remember it though.
I've had a few. I'm not technically gifted, as you know, but yeah, there's been a few over the years. I'm not pulling one out of the memory box, but there will be a few. Has he got one he remembers?
No. I think he just wanted to put you on the spot there. If there was one, like the one that did stick out, they're thinking, well.
The worst was.
How did I ever miss that one?
The own goal at Bradford when I went to Macclesfield. I scored an own goal and we'd lost 1-0. That was the worst, I think.
So they paid a 5-figure sum for you and you scored an own goal. I bet they were chuffed.
The only one as well.
And another one again from Mark Alcock. Who's the best manager you've played under? Like I say, you've had a few over the years.
All different styles, really. So, you know, some big characters like Nicky Law who jumps out, you wouldn't mess around with him, and you know, you knew exactly where you stood. Other managers that you know, a bit more passive, or you know, let the game sort of just unfold, you know, in front of them, let the dressing room sort of find its own feet. But for me, the one I learned the most off was when I was at college. A chap called Nigel Dealey. He was a great bloke, and he taught us a lot about, you know, the footy, but also about being a good person as well. And yeah, fond memories of Nigel and whatnot. He's doing a lot with England and things. He was at Man City. But yeah, nice dealing.
Yeah, I suppose, like you say, over the years with the managers, you must see a great deal, like you say, about the styles, because obviously you've got what we would call the old school style and the new up and coming style that they try to install into everybody at the moment. Yeah, have you got a preference for which one or basically you'll just listen to what's being said and get on with it?
Sometimes hard, you know, and I've done a bit of coaching and stuff, and sometimes it's hard to bite your tongue, but some dressing rooms are toxic, some where managers have got quite good authority and you wouldn't dare, you know, speak out of line and things. But I think what you've got with Alex as well here and Fernie, you've got a real good blend of, you know, the old standards, but they're also quite clued up on the knowledge of the football and the tactics, and the coaching's spot on here. So I think a mixture of the two at the right time, and knowing your players, knowing who's fragile, knowing who needs to kick up the arse and who needs an arm round him is the way forward, really.
Yeah, that sounds spot on, that does, yeah. From Jamie Howard, who's the best defender you've ever come up against?
God.
So we ask this normally most weeks, you know, is there anybody that, you know, when you are playing the opposition, you saw a certain name on the team sheet, and you know, with you as a striker, oh no, not him again.
Yeah, well, I actually played against a bloke who then turned into a teammate and a good friend again, George Horan.
Yeah.
He's done all the Welsh leagues, and I think he was at Wrexham and Chester and whatnot for a bit, but George took no messing, and he was a great leader. But playing against him, it was all or nothing, and that's hard, you know. He's relentless, and he'll put his head through a brick wall for you. So I'd say George is up there. Yeah,
and again that ties in nicely with the next one from Terry Radford. With all the players you've played over the years and that, if you had to pick a five-a-side team with those players that you played with, who would your five be? You know, goalie, two at the back and two at the front.
All right, let's go. John Danby, goalkeeper, and then I'm going to pick my little skillful players and players that can turn on a sixpence. I think Ant Melbourne from Kidsgrove is unbelievable talent, and
still scoring.
Yeah, unbelievable. I've seen him do things in training. He'll lob goalkeepers inside his box, and he's a great player, and I think he could have gone on a lot higher. So Ant Melbourne. Anthony Sarcevic probably, who was at Crewe and then went Chester, and he's gone on to play, I think, in...
he's gone up into the league, has he?
Yeah, Plymouth and whatnot.
Obviously you want yourself up front.
No, I wouldn't pick me, not in a five-a-side game, mate. You've got to know your players. There's a lot of very skillful, talented players that I've played with, but you know, people like Anthony Sarcevic jump out at me. I like old Mark Williams, who was at Chester quite regularly. Nathan Jarman, who could just score goals for fun. I've hit five there, yeah. Yeah,
that's your five. Yeah. I think you can put a sub in there as well. So that'll do is there. So sticking obviously with the football feed, which football team do you support?
I used to go watch the Vale when I played for Vale, and then growing up I jumped ship and went watch more Stoke games because I was closer to in Newcastle. But I just like the local teams doing well. Keep an eye on my friends' teams, and you know, Altrincham or Preston, or you know, wherever my old players that I played with are playing. But I like the local teams. I think it's good for the city, especially Stoke. I know both Stoke and Vale are having a bit of a bad turn, but I do like them to do well.
Yeah, and obviously growing up, did you have a player that obviously you might have modelled yourself on, and you thought, yeah, I want to be like him? And you know, it's normally Beckham or.
No. I remember Mark Viduka as a kid.
Yeah, I remember Viduka
when he did all that kind of stuff. Obviously the Shearers and whatnot. Growing up, they were around at the time. Ronaldo, not the new one, the old one.
The old one, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, some of the Stoke players, Graham Kavanagh and a few of the old heads that were in and around that team, Clarkey and whatnot. They were local heroes growing up.
Yeah, and obviously no interview would be the same without the question from Nick Barron's little lad Albert, who's here every week. And again, he's staying consistent. What's your favourite football boots and your favourite football? Are you another Predator boy?
No, I've got quite a wide foot, you see, so I like the old World Cups, Copa Mundials, old school, and footballs. mitre. It's got to be a mitre ball, I think. The old school mitre balls.
Yeah. Any particular reason?
Just growing up as a kid, that's what you got.
Yeah, that's what you got used to.
Smell. Do you remember that?
The leathery, layer. Yeah, I remember that. And who do you think you get on best with at the moment? Like you said, we know you're travelling with, but is there anybody particularly that you've clicked with? And
well, I used to play with Tom Forley. Tom's a great bloke. We both work in schools and stuff, so we've got quite a lot in common. I used to play with Joe Cuff. I get on with Joe. I think he's hilarious. He's thick, but he's a funny lad, you know. But I've just started to get to know a few of the other lads and figure out who's who. But we haven't had any nights out or anything like that yet, so just sort of weighing them up at football really. But it's hard to bond when you're not, you know, out and about or spending nights on the town together.
Yeah, and you slightly preempted the next question as well, because you mentioned there about Tom and teaching. Again, just a bit of background on you. You know, you said earlier on about your missus wasn't too keen, so obviously
I've got a partner.
You've got a partner, and I'm assuming are you a fully qualified teacher or anything?
No, I got kicked out of uni for plagiarism in year 2, and I set up like a sports coaching sort of activities business, and we go out into schools, nurseries, care homes, and do a lot of health related childcare education services in and around Stoke. We go as far up to like Macclesfield, Winsford, in Stafford, and everywhere in between really.
Yeah, so that's your main day-to-day when you're not down here at the Rangers then? Yeah,
that's what we do.
So you must get a lot of enjoyment, fulfilment out of that, like say helping the kids out as you do. And
yeah, it's I think any business owner will tell you it's hard work, it's round the clock, and it's hard to switch off sometimes, but yeah, as far as careers go, it's very rewarding, it's challenging, but yeah, I don't think I'll be doing anything else at the minute.
I suppose it depends on what type of business. I run a couple of businesses. I think it's a doddle.
Yeah.
I spend most of my time watching daytime TV. Again, if you haven't been a footballer, what do you think you might have been sports-wise? Do you play in other sports? Is there anything? I know a couple of lads said they used to be quite handy at cricket in the day. And
yeah, never got into cricket, but a lot of footballers and cricketers used to do one season and then the other. But I like to play golf. I love to ski. I don't know, I'm into anything like motorbikes and whatnot, but I haven't played anything regular other than football growing up. But I'd try my hand at anything: rollerblading, roller hockey, ice skating, you name it.
So ice skating, skiing, motorbiking. Alex is going to love hearing all this, isn't he? He's probably everything he doesn't want to hear.
Yeah.
And say finally, again, it's a question that's been going on over the last couple of weeks. I know you haven't been here very long, but if you can put this one to bed for us, who is the worst dressed player? Is it Theo or Andy?
Now I'm going to throw something. I'd say it was probably me. I'm really approaching midlife now and starting to dress.
Go through a crisis.
Theo's sharp, mate. I've seen him come in some suits and his big cheesy grin. I think Theo's sharp, but if Andy wore his with a bit more confidence and style, I think he would tip it, but Theo's just got that panache.
Well, according to Theo, Andy doesn't, he goes to bed in his black jacket, he gets out of bed in his black jacket. And,
yeah, he's quite safe, isn't he?
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm going to give the worst dress to Andy, and Theo's out there, he's putting his neck on the line, doing it for top man.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Theo.
Well, I'll certainly make Theo happy. I'm not sure about Andy, but let's put that one to bed for us. Anyway, Ben, many thanks for that. It's been a pleasure to speak to you. Obviously, let you crack on and get down to training and join in with the others.
Brilliant.